Hey there, good friends. Welcome, new subscribers. I'm Brian from Apex Detail. Today we're going to put Gyeon Can Coat through the Apex Detail review process. It's been out for quite some time. However, those of you just getting into the detailing community, taking care of your own car or maybe starting your own business, may not want to jump into the hassles that come along with a semi-permanent coating. So this can be an option. Let's head out into the shop. I'll show you everything involved with the Gyeon Can Coat. This is a less concentrated version of your semi-permanent coating, so you can get around the vehicle rather quickly. It's user-friendly and very, very effective. Gyeon Can Coat comes in a kit, $54.99 for the kit. The SiO2 concentration is greater than 10%. Beating at greater than 100 degrees contact angle. It is a great product to bridge the gap in between sealants and coatings and will withstand chemical resistance between 3 and 11 pH. A kit such as this is perfect for those just learning to take care of their car. They want some hardcore protection without the hassle of a more semi-permanent coating. Again, this one here is $54.99. You can compare this to the Mohs kit, which is $129.99. And they have a step up from there, which is the professional kit, the Mohs Plus. Okay, for the closer look segment of the video, what does the kit contain? Well, they send along one of their edgeless microfibers. They send along 3 nozzles. Why? Well, because they become clogged. If you use one and you leave it on and let it set for a while, then you have 2 more to replace it. I would keep the cap. I'll show you what to do with the nozzles to just to keep one and keep it functional. They also send along some door jamb tags, and this is courtesy for if you insert or install or apply the coating and it comes back to you in 6 months, you know what's on it. You don't have to check your records, or if it's going to a different detailer, if you switched or moved from one area to another. It's a courtesy tag for the next detailer. He knows what type of protection's on it, or God forbid your vehicle gets hit, it goes into a body shop. They at least know what they need to remove as they're working on the panel. You won't even have to worry about swapping out nozzles if you do this one simple thing when you're done using the container and you're done with your application. Keep your cap, put it back on nice and snug, run some warm water, put the nozzle under, and spray. And all you're doing is flushing the system. Keep bumping it till it's completely dry. Put your cap back on and it's ready for the next application. Now, besides the kit, before I'm ready to apply, I throw a couple things together, and that's going to be something to protect the lungs, a micro suede or a microfiber applicator, an extra microfiber towel, and a pair of nitrile gloves. Okay, we're almost ready to start coating. When it comes to the coating itself, it comes in a 200 milliliter container. Uncap the container. Firmly screw in your nozzle, pop off the cap, and we're ready to go. Application is a piece of cake. You can get around a car very quick for painted surfaces, but don't worry if it gets on your trim, chrome trim, plastic trim, wheels. It's good for wheels, headlights, tail lights. It sprays out in a fine mist. I have my micro fiber applicator. Now, just to prime it, 3 or 4 sprays, and then maybe 1 or 2 additional sprays per panel. Do 1 panel at a time from top to bottom, and away you go. A couple of quick sprays onto the microfiber applicator. Do a crisscross pattern. Make sure it's applied thoroughly and throughout the whole panel evenly. Grab your microfiber, have it folded in 4s. Do an initial wipe. Flip it over and buff to perfection. Comes off quick and easy. It's a user-friendly product. Piece of cake. This is kamikaze stance on these rims here, but I will use this, and it plays well using it as a topper or a sacrificial layer for on top of the stance on these rims. Headlights, taillights, parking lights. Coated plastic, metal trim, absolutely, especially on a convertible. The top's down, it'll add a little bit of UVA, UVB protection. I'll put some on the leather, not going to hurt it. Put some on the plastic. Again, it's not going to hurt it. It's not going to make it overly glossy. It's not going to make it look like a mirror. If the top is ever left down and bad weather rolls in rather quickly, the protection will be there. Chrome, plastic trim, rubber, I've had no problems with it. Okay, not bad for 20-year-old paint. It's clean, it's protected, and if you remember, we used the Adams ceramic waterless wash to clean it, and we followed it up with the Can Coat, and I'll maintain it with the Adams ceramic waterless wash. Now, compared to some of the other products out there, it is a little grabby, wiping it off. Not that big of a deal, but as time goes on, the grabbiness turns into a very slick, slippery surface. The characteristics, as we're going to look on a test panel here in just a few short seconds, hydrophobic properties are crazy. The gloss increases as it cures, and when we're talking about cure time, look for 12 hours minimum cure time. All right, so we have a test panel set up. Does the product add any depth to the surface? Does it add gloss? We'll find out. And by the way, guys, those that are asking about the detailing light here, this one is set up. I have two more to set up. One that bolts up against the wall and has an arm, it swings, and you just grab the head and you can pull it down and point it towards whatever area you're working on. They're some of the best detailing lights I've had so far. All LED, very strong. What they are some are surgical exam lights, like the ones that would be bolted to these walls here. This here is also an exam light, but has magnifying capabilities. Great for working on scratches and nicks and areas where you want to get close in. And I will do a designated video on all of those when they're all set up. But when it comes to the panel here, let's find out if the Gyeon Can Coat adds depth, adds gloss, clarity, but you don't want to apply the product to a dirty panel. The panel's dirty, it has tar sticking to it, and as I've mentioned in many of my videos, preparation is key as to anything you get out of a detailing product: durability, gloss, reflection, and depth. Preparation's key. Let's take care of that first. Rinseless wash or contact wash will be the first step. Next up, for me in my shop, is going to be clay only where needed. Some will do the ferrous metal remover first. I happen to like to remove any tar or anything that's bonded to the surface first, so the iron remover can actually get to the ferrous metals that could be embedded in the clear coat. I'll follow that up with auto scrub system where needed to pick up any of the ferrous metals as they have changed composition and are lifting out of the clear coat. Then we go from there. Now the claying didn't quite remove all of the heavy tar that's laid down on the panel here. So again, before I add a ferrous metal remover or an iron remover, I want to get all this crap off first, so the iron remover can get to the ferrous metals. So for me, it's going to be Citral 266 to remove all this gunk right here. That's next. When I have everything removed that I'm going after, Citral 266 has some kick to it, so I want to remove that as soon as I can from the panel. If you're doing a contact wash with a hose or a pressure washer, flush it immediately. If you're doing a rinseless or waterless wash, come in with your formula or concentrate, dilute it, and get it off of there. Okay, we have it clean. We have the bonded contaminants removed, and now we can get to and work on any ferrous metals that have come from the braking systems and worked its way into the clear coat. So we use an iron remover, and that causes an exothermochemical reaction, changes the composition of the ferrous metal, so you can then remove it, either flushing it away, or I use the auto scrub system very lightly to pick up those jagged pieces of ferrous metals. Okay, in a couple minutes after letting it dwell, some of the areas will turn pink or purple or red where it comes in contact with the ferrous metal and it causes the chemical reaction. So it's then time to rinse if you have a pressure washer or a hose. If you're a rinseless or a waterless wash guy, this is how I do it. I have two towels. First, I'm going to use the first one, which is damp, to just pick up the thick bulk of the iron remover first. Again, that one is a damp towel. Then I will follow up with my, ONR, American Detailer Garage, DPC, whatever you use for a rinseless wash. Come in there, it dilutes it, and you can remove the rest with your clean microfiber, the second one. Now I'm going to hit it again with the rinseless wash solution and follow up with my auto scrub system, very lightly. One panel at a time, then I'll rinse the auto scrub here, go to the next panel, and repeat the process all the way around the car. Picks up any of the ferrous metals that have where the composition has been changed, and I can remove them properly. Then I will come in, hit it again with the rinseless solution, wipe off, and we're ready to move on. For me, there's going to be one more step, because either I'm starting a correction or I'm going to be laying down the protection. So there still could be some traces of an old sealant or maybe wax. I'm going to follow up with an IP solution, panel prep, body solvent, whatever you want to call it. If I was going to start correction, I would want to do this. So when I come in, my pads are going straight to work. They're not first cleaning off any old wax or sealant. They're going to work doing the paint correction, saving a little bit of time. And your pads. Okay, the panel is perfectly clear and clean. And if you want to start correction, now would be the great time. We're going to jump right to the Gyeon Can Coat. But first, let's get some measurements in gloss and depth. All right, let's get some depth readings first. Right at the tip of the arrow here, 8.8 mils. We'll write that right here, 8.8 mils. We'll see if when we add the Can Coat, it adds any measurable depth whatsoever. Okay, next we'll get a gloss reading here. Let's get it lined up. 92.1. 92.1 gloss units. We have a little area masked off. Let's get the product applied. A couple squirts into the microfiber applicator. Get it on the panel. Then do a crisscross pattern. Follow up with the microfiber. Flip it over and buff it. And that quickly, it's gone, it's protected, it's ready to go. Now, I do 2 coats on everything. I don't just paint my fence with 1 coat. So I'm going to wait 2 hours minimum in between, add a second coat, and then again, cure time is 12 hours minimum. Let's take a look at this up close. Microfiber, flip it over, and you can see how easy it comes off. And there you go. And just to reiterate, as you're applying the product, it gets a little grabby to the towel as time goes on, and it cures. The slickness, the smooth feel increases slowly, and the hydrophobic properties will increase slowly, and also the gloss increases slowly as it cures. 12 hours later, when you come back, you're going to be completely happy with it. All right, let's get back to the measurements. Has the Can Coat added any depth whatsoever at 2 layers on this panel? We started with 8.8 mils. We're now at 8.9, so it added a tenth. So we added a little bit of a measurable difference to the surface of the panel here. When it comes to gloss units, we're going to follow that up in the next video that I put out. We're going to give this the full 12 hours to cure. That's when the gloss is at its highest. And that's when I will put this up against something else. We'll put it up against maybe Adams 9H or CarPro Reload, or maybe down in the comments section, let me know what you want me to compare it to. And when it comes to its protective properties and beading, this stuff has some sick beading, and it's obvious the area that we have protected there. And for the final thought segment of the video, the Gyeon Can Coat. The kit is $54.99. It's going to be found that way on most websites. If you could find the 200 milliliter canister alone, it'll be around 28 bucks. I really have nothing negative to say about this. It's user-friendly. In my environment, it'll last 6 months or so. So it's a great topper. If you're going to use it as a standalone, pick up Gyeon Cure along with it and use that for the maintenance product if you're going to use this for your main coating. Use that every 2 or 3 months. You won't have to apply Can Coat again for another 9 to 12 months. So if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.